Justice for Kevin Morais. Malaysia awaits final verdict in landmark murder case. By AZLAN ADNAN. Anthony Kevin Morais was a senior deputy public prosecutor in Malaysia, well known for his integrity and commitment to justice. A respected figure in legal and anti-corruption circles, he had previously served with the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MC, and was actively involved in prosecuting high-profile graft and criminal cases. At the time of his disappearance in early September 2015, he was working on several sensitive files, including prosecutions related to corruption and financial crimes. On the morning of 4th of September 2015, Kevin Morais left his condominium in Menara Duda, Kuala Lumpur, in his government-issued Proton Perdana. He never arrived at the Attorney General's chambers where he worked. His disappearance immediately sparked concern, especially given his position and the nature of the cases he handled. 11 days later, on the 16th of September, his worst fears were realized when police discovered a concrete-filled drum abandoned in a swampy area in Subang Jaya. Forensic investigations later confirmed that the barrel contained the body of Kevin Morais. It had been stuffed into a gunny sack, his hands bound, and the drum sealed with concrete, an act clearly designed to conceal the crime. Autopsy results suggested he had died from suffocation and blunt force trauma. The gruesome nature of his death and the elaborate effort to hide his body shocked the nation. Public outcry followed swiftly, with many questioning whether his murder was connected to his work, particularly his involvement in anti-corruption cases. Investigations led to the arrest of 7 individuals. Among them was Colonel Dr. R. Kunasigaran, a military pathologist who had previously been charged by Kevin in an unrelated graft case. He quickly emerged as the alleged mastermind. The prosecution later presented the theory that Dr. Kunasigaran had sought revenge against Kevin for his role in prosecuting him and orchestrated the murder with the help of hired hands. 6 other individuals, S. Ravichandran, R. Dineshwaran, A. K. Thanesh Kumar, M. Vishwanath, S. Nimalan, and G. Gunasekaran, were linked to the abduction and murder. Gunasekaran eventually entered into a plea bargain, admitting guilt for helping to dispose of the body. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison and became the star prosecution witness. The case proceeded to trial in the Kuala Lumpur High Court in 2016 and continued for several years, drawing significant media and public attention. In July 2020, after a lengthy hearing that spanned over 70 witnesses and multiple forensic experts, the High Court convicted Dr. Kunasigaran and 5 of the co-accused. All 6 were sentenced to death by hanging under Section 302 of the Penal Code. Justice Azman Abdullah, in delivering the verdict, cited the sheer brutality of the crime and the compelling forensic and circumstantial evidence that connected the men to the murder and the disposal of Kevin Morais's body. The use of coordinated car collisions, multiple getaway vehicles, phone records, CCTV footage, and forensic traces led to what the court found to be a deliberate, premeditated conspiracy. The defense, dissatisfied with the ruling, appealed to the Court of Appeal. On the 14th of March 2024, the Appellate bench, comprising Datuk Hadaria Syed Ismail, presiding, Datuk Ahmad Zaidi Ibrahim, and Datuk Azmi Arifin, upheld both the convictions and the death sentences. The court found no miscarriage of justice and concluded that the trial judge had carefully and lawfully evaluated the totality of evidence. The judges noted the meticulous planning involved in the murder and concealment, describing it as an orchestrated act of vengeance, fueled by a desire to obstruct the course of justice. The concept of common intention was central to the judgment. While not all 6 had physically killed Morais, they had all played essential roles in facilitating or covering up the act. The matter then proceeded to the federal court, the apex judicial body in Malaysia. During proceedings in April and May 2025, the defense teams attempted to cast doubt on the credibility of the key witness Gunasekaran, questioning the prosecution's narrative of revenge as motive. They also argued that the death penalty was disproportionate in cases where some of the accused had not physically killed the victim. The prosecution, however, maintained that all 6 had acted in concert with a shared objective, and that Kevin's murder was a calculated act of obstruction of justice, tied directly to his role in prosecuting serious cases. The panel at the federal court consisting of Chief Justice Tun Tengku Maimun Tuan Mat, Court of Appeal President Tan Sri Abang Iskandar Abang Hashim, and Federal Court Judge Datuk Rodzaria Bujang, heard the final appeals. After extensive oral arguments, the court reserved its judgment on the 14th of May, 2025. The judgment was initially expected in mid-June, but was postponed to allow for thorough deliberation on the complex legal and evidentiary issues raised during the appeal. Now, on the 30th of June 2025, the federal court has officially announced that its verdict will be delivered tomorrow, 1st of July 2025. The long-awaited ruling has reignited national interest in what remains one of the country's most chilling and politically sensitive murder cases in living memory. The outcome will determine whether the 6 convicted men will have their sentences upheld or modified, depending on the court's interpretation of conspiracy law, individual culpability, and the evidentiary threshold for capital punishment. The Kevin Morais case has long been seen as a litmus test of Malaysia's commitment to legal integrity, transparency, and institutional independence. His death came during a period of heightened political tension and public scrutiny of government institutions, particularly amid the 1MDB scandal. Although no formal connection between his murder and 1MDB was ever established, widespread speculation continues to surround the role he played in drafting a secret arrest warrant for then Prime Minister Najib Razak, further deepening the public's unease. As the country awaits the federal court's final decision, Kevin Morais is remembered not only as the victim of a brutal and cowardly crime, but as a man whose professional dedication and incorruptibility left an indelible mark on the Malaysian justice system. His name has since appeared on international anti-corruption rolls of honor, and his murder galvanized calls for stronger protections for prosecutors, whistleblowers, and judicial officers facing undue risks. Whatever the verdict tomorrow, the case has carved a lasting place in Malaysia's legal and moral consciousness. It is more than a murder trial. It is a solemn chapter in the nation's struggle to defend the rule of law against intimidation, corruption, and impunity. A heartfelt light. To every soul whose hand did give, you've helped me dream, helped me live. In darkest hours your light came through, with hearts so kind, so pure, so true. Your gifts, like stars in deepest night, have steered me gently toward the light. Each coin, each word, each silent prayer, a thread of hope, so rich, so rare. My eyes once dimmed now seek the skies, and slowly clearer visions rise. Because of you, I dare to see the world again, its grace, its plea. Your compassion's flame will not just stay with me alone. It lights the way for others wandering through despair to feel the warmth of selfless care. You've shown what love in action means, in quiet ways through giving scenes. You've built a bridge from soul to soul and made the broken feel more whole. So let this thanks rise like a song, a melody both soft and strong. May your example gently call more hearts to rise to give. To fall into the joy of lifting pain, of planting hope where none remains. Your kindness walks beside me still, a light, a love, a living will.
that subscribe button to show your support.